All right, off we go to the other football results from Week 11. Manchester Valley ran into a buzzsaw in Linganore, who cruised to the win. James Herndon had a touchdown run and an interception for the Mavericks. Liberty stayed with Middletown in the first half of their 2A-1A West playoff game, but the Knights pulled away to advance. Seth Jacobs caught a touchdown pass and threw for one as well in the loss for the Lions. Time for an updated look at the football standings through 2 weeks of the postseason. Winners Mill gets to 9-1 with that historic first playoff win. Man Valley finishes its season at 6-5, and Liberty comes in at 5-6. Both of those teams won first-round playoff games. We have moved into the state tournament for high school football. Winners Mill is the only county team still standing, and the Falcons have reached the round of 8 for Class 2A-1A to face Forest Park. We're going to bring you updates and highlights from that state quarterfinal, so look for them on our social media channels. The big game takes place Saturday at 4 p.m. from Dunbar High School in Baltimore, artificial turf. Forest Park is the home team with a 10-1 record, and the Foresters are making their third straight trip to the quarterfinals. Let's look now at the Class 2A-1A state football bracket. Calvert and Patuxent, top 2 seeds in the bracket. They will host semifinal games if they both win this weekend. Patuxent and Dunbar have home games as well. Let's talk about how Winners Mill got here. The Falcons ran past Williamsport in dominant fashion last week. Big Mill carried the ball 51 times for 317 yards as a team and didn't attempt a single pass en route to a 33-12 win. It marked the Falcons' first ever postseason victory. Paris Lee ran for 2 touchdowns and Nico Baez added 1, as did Dallas Poole and Malachi Denny. Forest Park rallied to beat Randallstown last week to advance in the playoffs. The Foresters trailed 14-8 at halftime, but senior Jayon Knox rushed for a TD, and fellow senior Keon Johnson caught a touchdown pass to help Forest Park win 22-14. The Foresters have 7 shutouts this season. Okay, let's look at how these teams match up. Forest Park allows less than 5 points per game. Very impressive, but it is worth noting the Foresters defeated only 3 teams during the regular season that finished with winning records. Their offense was very potent, however, throughout the fall. Winners Mill bounced back after losing to Westminster in the county title game back in Week 9. This will be the first ever meeting between these 2 teams. Let's look at 2 players to keep an eye on for the Falcons. We mentioned Malachi Denny. He averages close to 7 yards per carry, and he has given Winners Mill some depth in the backfield. On defense, Victor Tejada leads the team with 8 sacks, and he has a fumble recovery as well. Time for the Coach's Corner, and we'll stay with Winners Mill football. Coach Matt Miller has the Falcons trying to survive and advance in the state playoffs. Let's check in with the coach.
Coach, how much was last week? Obviously, it was the first playoff win in school history. How much did you let them enjoy it, and hopefully they ride that emotion into the state quarterfinals?
Like most teams, 24 hours. I wanted them to enjoy because they accomplished something. And we talked before, I don't want our kids to not enjoy what's going on. Enjoy it when in the moment, when it's appropriate and as it is appropriate, and then it's back to work on Monday, and that's been our attitude this week.
What pleased you the most about getting Williamsport a second time? You talked to us about it's hard to beat a team twice and really dominating the game from start to finish.
Yeah, I thought Williamsport played a great game against South Carroll, and our kids really rose to the challenge. I think they led Williamsport, and I have to say I have utmost respect for Coach Small. He's a friend of mine. He has a great program out there, and they're going to be back. But I think they were leading Washington County in passing yards. I think their quarterback had 2,000 yards passing, and we held them to 1 completion. I was pleased with that from a statistical point of view, and we ran, I think, 50 run plays. And I know the paper had us listed at a number, but I think we were close to 300 yards rushing. 50 run plays, 300 yards rushing, that's a solid all-around performance.
You'd love to see that continue. What do you need to do against a good Forest Park team here to come away with another victory in the playoffs and advance to the state semifinals?
Similar game plan. I'm very impressed with Forest Park's defensive front. They are very fast off the ball, very well coached. They rally to the football like we do on defense, so we are going to have to really fight for those yards. They're not going to be easy to come by. Offensively, they do a lot of similar things in regards to like running the football and making that a priority. So we got to bottle them up because, like us, they have about 3 or 4 kids that can tote it. And their quarterback can get the ball to receiver in space. They're not just one-dimensional. It's a very evenly matched game, I think. Very quality opponent, but I like our chances.
I know the kids have enjoyed this run. The fans certainly have. How about you and the staff? Have you taken any time, and hope you have, to step back from a minute and really appreciate what you guys have done this year?
Yeah, usually after the games on Friday nights, we enjoy ourselves, but we keep it in perspective because each new week brings a new challenge, and we have things that we have to overcome and we have to deal with in the classroom, in the school, on the field. So we enjoy it as much as we can. We don't linger on it because there's always another test in front of us.
Thanks to Coach Miller. CMSportsNet will be there Saturday for the state quarterfinal matchup between Winters Mill and Forest Park, and we will be giving you updates and highlights throughout the game on our social media channels. If we have more football playoffs football to come, CMSportsNet has got you covered, so check in with us the rest of the way. But we are not done with the fall playoffs just yet.
Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.